Hello everyone, well, welcome to my new Let's Play. This is Geekcast right now, and well, this is gonna be the first part of the very new Let's Play, which I haven't seen a lot of. I have seen that there are at least two Let's Plays of this exact game with this, with the kind of main mod, which is which I'll tell you about when we get there. Well, this is Silent Hunter 3, as you probably know. Well, you see here, Lieutenant Z as Otto Henkel. This will be the guy I will be playing. It's just a random name that I generated with SH3 Commander, which is, as you see, it's kind of like a commander for everything. You can see your stats and everything. If anyone wants to see, the general kind of info about our character, just say, and I'll make a little video of how the patrols are going exactly, with all the info that you can get, if we're lieutenant still or Oberleutnant, and when did we advance, and how did our career technically start, because it tells you what happened since like in 1934. It's usually then when you actually were like a cadet kind of thing. Okay, so career, Otto Henkel. So that's it. New career, as you see, I haven't saved any. So yeah, we begin as Sadsville. Sadsvale or Salsvale. It's split like two anyway. We'll begin at Wilhelmshaven, or I'm sorry if I pronounced it really wrong, but I don't know any German, so excuse me at that. As you see, it's not, the war's not on yet. It's 1939, 1st of August, Tuesday. Now, this is our boat basically. Type 7B U-boat. And yes, if you haven't realized that by now, you are a Nazi in this game. So, hooray. Yeah, I know, it doesn't seem as bad because this game is actually really interesting, because to be honest, I think still U-boats are more interesting than American submarines, and that's not my kind of that's not only my opinion, that's a lot of people, and well, I guess I agree with that. It's a lot more interesting on the Atlantic, especially that I'm living around here. Even though I'm a native Polish, I don't have anything against Germany, so I don't mind playing them. I like Silent Hunter 4 in its own right as well. If nobody knows if somebody doesn't know what is Silent Hunter 4, it's basically the next one of the Silent Hunter series, and there was also one, you probably know about that now, Silent Hunter 5, which is back at Atlantic, but it still needs a lot of work. So there's a lot to do before it actually gets into a workable position. I do own physical copies of Silent Hunter 4 and Silent Hunter 3, as you see anyway. I do not own yet Silent Hunter 5. I will buy it next month, so if you want to appeal that, sure, just say so. Alright, so what I'm doing here is just filling up my crew bio quarters, so if I need to change somebody, because sometimes you need to do that, sometimes just people get very exhausted after a long while. And this is the guy, I see he has a kind of qualifications for machinist. He is high on experience, but he still doesn't cost renown value, so let's give him a go at diesel engines. It's gonna mean that our diesel engines should be a bit more effective in any case. Those bars should be filling up, but one of them also broke them, so I don't actually know why do they not fill up. And I'm not gonna experiment at the moment. But yeah, this, as you probably realize, this game is heavily modded. In the original game you wouldn't have 1st of August. This I think that was added with Grey Wolf expansion mod. And this is the main mod I'm using. Okay, so and the one I'm not gonna change layout of them because we're not even gonna go for War Patrol yet. I'm interested in maybe changing later on for KDB, but at the moment, because it has a better, you can actually, this is like a big microphone which works underwater. This one is an external one, and it works in, as you see, it works 160 degrees on each side of the bow, sorry. But it's very vulnerable to depth charges because it is actually a bit of an antenna here kind of thing. While this, as you see, it's just inside, but it has only arc of 140 degrees on each side, so it can actually see it in front. So that's about that. Torpedoes, I'll probably use a lot of those torpedoes. Many people don't really like them because of the speed. But I think they're fairly useful against fast enemies especially. So, by the way, this is our desk, and you see Captain's log. You can access your barracks here as well. Or not barracks, but I mean awards kind of place, but you can also go here. Anyway, here you can get transfers if you later on want to go to Wagner or Wedinger. They're just different flotillas, by the way. Here we just have in our log kind of thing, so yeah. Alright, so realism, for your sake, I have external view on, so I can actually go out and have a free view and show you what's going on. No event camera. Well, it is a kind of nice view for use, and it doesn't have an impact on realism. This has 15% impact, just for the sake of it. 100? No. Wait, 5. No weapon officer assistance. Well, it has a torpedo solution in the original one, but because of one UI mod, I don't have that anymore. I can only ask for a target identification, and I'm probably going to do that manually anyway, but in reality also, as from what I reckon, you could basically ask your weapon officer and he'll quickly tell you what the target is because he would be used to it. No stabilized view, I guess there's quite a bit of controversial things about this. But from what I heard, it's a lot easier in reality to keep it straight, and you kind of, as in game, you know, you have to control it with mouse, and it's not that easy. So it wasn't that problem to get accurate measurements in reality, while it is in game. So then stabilized view on, and it doesn't have an impact on realism thanks to the mod. No map contacts update. Well, I have that off for now. It will be more realistic if there were just dots, and I'll tell you later on why and how. But I might actually be trying and make a mod for that, and maybe then just a little mod. It might be, hopefully it will actually be working if I ever try to make them, because if I ever try to do something, it never works. But that's basically it. My new targeting system is the one that is the most controversial. Like mostly, there's a lot of people using both. I personally always use manual, and that's because of a lot of fun you have when you actually manual target. There's a lot of error mistakes also you make, but all is actually pretty fun, to be honest. Of course, we'll have limited everything, so it will be realistic that way. Realistic vulnerability. So we will be very vulnerable to attacks, but as a submarine, you never actually try to get into a fight with destroyer unless you have very clean shot, or you get one destroyer very out on the sea and very easy target, then you can try, but never again, never always. You see a lot of those though. You see a lot of the torpedoes. As the torpedoes are very malfunctioning in the first few years of the war, and it's very well simulated in this game. I'll tell you a bit more about it later on when we're in. Realistic sensors, they're basically less useful. Their ranges and everything are less. Realistic reload, you see how long it takes for reload time, but it's pretty much if you have 4 torpedoes in a fight front, like we will have on this boat, it is gonna be it is gonna be 4 shots and 2 at the back, or sorry, 1 in the back in this mole, and then go away, or at least kill him with the day gun, because otherwise it won't reload in time. So we get that. GWX orders for August 1939. Players must, starting in first and second flotillas, second and sus, are advised to run a 5-day shakedown patrol and dock at home port. So we'll do just that, but the loading time is insane. So alright, I want to welcome you aboard our ship, which is a Type 7 U-boat. I'll tell you in a second. It's a U-48. If you want to Google that, I will actually after this video. I do that always with every single of my ships. My one that I use for my own self is actually a U-52, which was I guess fairly successful, but still it was very badly damaged in 1943 and scuttled, I think, in Danzig or Gdańsk for Polish viewers, or for anyone who understands that. But yeah, it was scuttled in 1945, just when the Germans were retreating probably. So this is the map view. We'll be here for most of the time, unless we're attacking. Excuse me. We'll be here for most of our attacks, but let's go back to the command room. Well, here's the command room, and this is actually these styles I'll tell you about later on, but they're very important actually. So keep in mind those are very important. Well, this is our observation periscope. I'll show later on what is observation periscope. Those are our torpedoes, for firing, I guess. There's some meat for eating. Right here you can see a bit of a, how do you call it? You have a bit of a radio room, I'll show in a second. Here we are, you see the entrance. I don't have a free camera, but I might actually get a free camera mode and maybe some interior mods for a bit more realistic view. But even this, you see this is our hydrophone guy, and hydrophone is basically like a big, how do you call it? Like a massive, like not a massive, but like a microphone underwater basically, which can listen to different sounds. Microphone working underwater, and remember, water is very good for basically sound travel, probably better than air, I guess. This is our radio man. He is very important as well. He'll get us every radio message, but I won't read it out because there's so much in there. It would stop every single time, and I would have to record it. At first there's none important messages for about a month. There's like, it begins at around 25th of August. So let me come back to command room. Jeez. Okay. So as you see, this is our map guy, or navigator otherwise. He's a very important guy. and this is our commander, basically. Chief engineer, sorry, I'm a commander. Yeah, here if I would be able, I would be showing battery level, or show that this is the black one on the left, you can see. On the right we have fuel, and the middle two, wait, actually there's one way to show that better. Wait, there should be a report on report, no, maneuvers, no. There's one that I can think of, but I don't remember how to get to it. Maybe it's not possible with, after all the mods. I don't remember. Sorry. Here I'll check that when we're up to speed, maximum range on the, at current speed. So, well, this is the end of the ship, or boat, or however you want to call it. It's still a boat. Still on water anyway. It's, remember those ones, and I hope to get a better one out around 1943. Those ones are meant to be surfaced for most of its life, basically. But I really hope to get a 1943, which if not in this one, I'll probably make a new let's play for 1943. I hope to get 21 type boat, which is the first one, which is called Electroboot or Electrobot or something like that. It's basically like it stands for electronic boat, I think, which means it has two absolutely insane 5,000 horsepower engines for electric engines, and even its diesel engines are lower, are weaker. So let us go in here, or actually let's look at this for a second as well. So this is our bridge. These are the spotters. This is our watchman. He is a pain because as you see, he says ship spot. That's not the biggest problem, because the game has a bug that whenever we go underwater, he never comes back up. I think it is repaired by a very specific mod, but it's very hard to do. And I'd like to do it, but there's a lot to do, and I'm not even sure if it would work. So that's a problem. So every time you surface, you have to actually drag him out in here, and to do anything, deck gunning or flag gunning or be good at spotting things, you need him. So that's a pain. So let's actually begin by moving out. First of all, this is the course plotter. You can also go here and plot course, but it's a lot easier to just click this. I think it's done the best in actual Sanhor 5, which I have played, but like not very long of, because yeah, I just got it from a friend and didn't update to the best patch, and I didn't get a modded version, so I guess it's pointless to decide if the game is good. So I decided that next month I'm just gonna buy one hard copy of Sanhor 5 to get a full kind of set of Sanhor from 3 to 5. I'm not gonna buy Sanhor 4 yet, or sorry, Sanhor 2 yet, because it would be crazy, but why, why not sometime. Well, I only played this game for about 2 weeks, and to be honest, last week was the most kind of serious of playing this. This is the most, still considered the most realistic submarine game ever made, so not really when it's in its road stage, in its vanilla stage, but it is when it's pretty much in the mod stage. So we're fairly safe here, so we can do a bit longer route, a bit closer to Britain, which is not very wise later on in the war, but it's not war yet, so it's not later on in the war, but later on when the war starts. You'll see that we will never go through this part because this is heavily mined and a lot of actual planes fly here. So I won't ever go through Strait of Dover, that's what it's called, by the way. It is pretty funny though, because when you look close enough, it's in German, while you know, North Atlantic, that's in English when you're far away, and then you have North Atlantic Ischer Osten or something like that. I know. I'm not a German speaker, so please, I'm hurting that language. I know. This is German Bay, pretty much Deutsch Bay. Yeah, sorry, I'm not gonna do that anymore for any German speakers. North Sea, which is basically North Sea, so North Sea, Baltic Sea, Bay of Biscay. I love this spot, but I'm definitely not gonna go here anymore because it's just so empty, and sometimes you get a good hunt, but most of the times you don't. So the next thing I want to do is go here, but at the moment it's pointless. But just to show you some, there we go. This is a convoy map, and as you can see, there's two places where it comes from and goes to at around that spot, north of it anyway. But yeah, it's a bit of a drag to go there, especially that you have to go around Faroe Islands to be fairly safe. While I'm probably gonna go, I'm sorry I can't show, but if you see, I'm gonna go to AM, which is just beside AL quadrants, and there's four routes going of convoys, which means a lot of traffic, which means a lot of shoots, shoots, basically. So that's gonna be interesting. By the way, just going here, I see this, so yeah, this is just conversion charts, which I never use at the moment anyway. This is a pop-up menu. All you see here is modded in. Also this, the dials look like it's like they were in vanilla, but they were here, and they kind of, I think they didn't pop out. That's Simon 4 style, by the way, when they pop up like that. Okay, so get to return to course, and let's go for 1/3 speed, and let's look. So there are the people. I'm sorry to start, but it's just the way it is. There are the people who basically salute us going away. We're gonna come back. There's no worries, but later on it's gonna be a bit more of a you came home. You're like, we salute you, kind of thing, because it is gonna be unsafe. Right. So while we're here, let me talk about a few things. As I told you, those are the actual knobs you're seeing down there. Same as... and all this panel, everything you see here is actually controlling the torpedoes. Those two are only for salvo shooting. And this changes salvo to or one single torpedoes. These are impact or magnetic. These are basically what type of pistol you want, which means magnetic, when it basically when a magnet takes from like when it goes and it sees that the metal's there, it basically ignites, like sends the signal to ignite. And the impact is pretty easy. It just hits and then boom, boom. That's it. Magnetic should go under. Impact should go into it. But magnetic are pretty hard to actually aim. I mean, to get under. So you mostly just hit them the same as impact. I found. But you should never actually use magnetic in a very bad way because they might actually pre-detonate. Alright, when you're done with that, you see here, this is slow, medium, and fast. I'm not actually sure what, it is in German so I can't tell you, but I know this is schneller or something like that. I'm not actually sure, but this is fast, medium, and slow. So I usually just play around with that. With different speeds. This is a very important thing actually. The screw, the button actually, switch. This is, this you don't have to worry about. I'll tell you if I ever use it. It will be without map contacts then. It is actually for tracking, pretty much tracking what's going on. You know what, this is actually not the best to show. Because this is actually a UZO, which is basically a pair of binoculars. Let's go here. Alright, this is actually observation scope. You see, this is actually fairly big, but it doesn't have all the cool things out here. It only has bits of that, and that, and that. Nothing interesting anyway. Well, it is good for observation. It's the exact same kind of scope that is the attack scope, but it's actually a lot better for observation. Excuse me. So you have to turn on the light. A lot better for observation, as you see a lot more in more detail, kind of, because it's so much bigger. Oh, and if you think I can do it widescreen, I cannot, because the game is very, it has a hard-coded resolution to it, so I have to go into actual window mode. It is very bad, and I hate when you have hard-coded resolutions into the game, but unluckily that's what they did with this one. They never done it again, unfortunately. But, yeah, this is how it goes. So, as I thought, wait, I'm actually gonna turn that on for a while. Alright, so you see, you have nothing here. Actually, here you can check flags as well, because it's observation, so you can actually check flags. You can check your tankers and basically freighters. You don't really need that, to be honest, because I'll show you why. Because it shows kind of where to check it, but it's not that very important. Yeah. Alright, so those are the flags. And as you can see, those are only our enemies. As you see, Poland is the first of... You can check when from and when till they are enemies. So, 1939, 0901, 1945, 0814. Those are the dates. And yeah, those are in a bit more American fashion, I guess. I don't know. It's a bit weird because in Europe we usually put months after the date, but like, okay. I personally don't ever use that kind of... But okay, if you like it that way, and that's the way the thing was made. French, English are going to be the main ones, probably we'll be attacking, and mainly English. Let's see who else we're attacking. We're definitely going to be looking at America after a while, but at the moment there's not even a point of trying to, because there's still, pretty much you get orders to not to try and attack them. So let's see how it's going on. What's going on here? You see they're lit up actually. This is a very important part about ships later on. If a merchant ship is lit up fairly close to actual, how to call it, United Kingdom, you have a permission to shoot it without warning. If it is lit up, it's mostly friendly, or sorry, not friendly, but not at war basically, because it doesn't want to be spotted. But when it's lit up, unless it is actually enemy, like here you see it's Norway, so we won't be attacking them for a while. I think 1940 I think we're not attacking them till, but it is very, oh, we're turning. It is very important after you see. But anyway, a few things I hate about this. Now, in Sailor 4 and in original Grey Wolf's expansion pack, excuse me, you had few very important things, quite a bit different to this. Actually, even if you were close up, you had a little dot, which I'm okay with if you're going for a little dot. And here you don't get anything. That's one annoyance. Second annoyance, you see this little thing here. I do not like this because as you see, it shows where you're coming from. It kind of shows how your wake went. But it is like staying in one place, but it kind of shows what direction you're going in. Cargo ships don't really turn that often because they're so heavy and so pointless for them to turn. There's absolutely no point in trying. So that's that. Oh man. So that's the explanation. I'm gonna probably check what it looked like in Sailor 4. What was it called again? TMO mod, trigger mod overhaul or something like that was called. It's actually a great mod. It's actually a great one, and but the problem is I'm not that much into Pacific fighting, as I said, and that's basically just an improvement on the fighting up there with Japs. I'd like to fight as Japanese, but for some reason I'm more interested in the actual Axis stuff. I'm not like, of course I hate what Hitler did and done, but I mean just their technology was so advanced for the time. They were just so perfect, like all those machines were just so perfect that they needed pretty much perfect usage. Anyway, as you see, we're going at time is on. This is a time compression, by the way. I can go up, of course, click it to go back, or I usually press backspace and then pause for some for a reason. I think just in Sailor 4 it comes back then, but when I press enter it works, so I kind of need to get used to pressing enter. Sorry, I get a cough and when I talk. Especially for Let's Plays, it's actually very bad for a throat. It gets very dehydrated kind of thing. And I don't have any drink beside me, so I can't help it. So well, this is the route we're gonna take probably. If it's too short, actually I'm gonna check. It's meant to be about it's meant to be about 100 hours, and we're gonna stay at this speed, so it is actually good. So, yay! Oh, I was saying that I'm gonna check some reports. So now, maximum speed at maximum range at current speed. Now you see it's right here, 20,000 kilometers. That's a lot, but going from here to here takes around 4,000 kilometers. You would think like going here would help, but minefields and a lot of airplanes, no way. You actually have to go around. Right later on, actually, from when I played before, there's a supply ship here, but it's also 4,000 kilometers to go here, and you cannot change anything on your ship if there's something new coming. You can't even change your torpedo layout, so I don't recommend to go there. I just prefer to go here. There's another one, I think, wait, there will be one here as well, exactly here, in Las Palmas, or, yeah, Las Palmas. Yeah, this is another one that's gonna be there. I didn't ever try and I need to check, but like, this is just supply ships, and you kind of have to end patrol there. We're on patrol, by the way, now, which means basically going out on the sea and not coming back for a while. That's basically what patrol is. This is the radio things. We can send our status, send our contact reports. I guess actually sending status is pretty pointless in this mod, but because I'll show you anyway what you get. Send status. Look, this is what the status reports look like, I guess. Just for your information, for you to know how does it exactly look like. And later on we should get a radio message. But yeah, but you see, what I meant by this, I mean, look, this ship I can actually find a course of. He's going to be going like this for a while, right? If it was on an open ocean, it would definitely keep its course like this for a very long time, even hundreds of kilometers, probably hundreds of kilometers. Anyway, I can find a course like this without actually doing much, right? But what I like to do, and it's a bit more realistic in that sense, because you would know the position of this one anyway. You would go like this. That's what I would do. Then he's here. Do another one. That's what I do with the radio contacts, if I get radio contact, but you don't get that good. And then you see I can just go like this through the points. Just get 3 or 4 points and then go through them, and you get very similar. Right? Well, this is the rubber tool. This is just the angles, and this is the marker as is shown. This is a compass, this is a ruler, and this is the actual course plotter. So this is the tool I least use. This one I don't use too often. This one used fairly often. This one is the most used tool except the course plotter. And by the way, you see this protractor kind of thing is a cursor, right? And I can show you something interesting. Look at what it says. At the top it says 180 and at the bottom it says 0. But that's actually meant because, look, if I go with a line, like a ship is going, look, I'm going like this, I'm putting it down, for example, like this. And look, the course of the ship is 40. And see, I get the course of the ship, and it's very easy to use. This and another one that is fairly useful, but I guess I never actually use it. Excuse me. This is actually a great game, to be honest. Well, alright, so I meant to explain the periscopes. This is the attack periscope anyway. And I got sidetracked there. This is the, as I showed you, take a look. This is the actual observation scope. Wait, I'll show you some. This is what you see through observation scope. You see it's a bit yellowish tinge to it. It is better for actual observation. You see that both really well. Now, this is the attack scope. You see the tint is red in here and it's very small. So look at this. You see this ship a lot worse in this. You can still see it, but for recognition, like this would be a lot better to recognize it, wouldn't it? And it's the same magnification, so it's just being stretched, I guess, the view of it. So now, press this and it goes down itself. Another thing that is going to be used a lot is this actually. Press that, change. This is actually speed, so you'll see just one measurement for this because they barely ever change speed. They're so big and heavy, bulky, that you never really change speed of them. This will change quite a few times. This is in hundreds of meters, so 300 meters, a kilometer, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, 10 kilometers. We never shoot at 10 kilometers because the range is too small. Well, this is the actual angle and bow. So, if you don't know what's that, basically, if this means the boat is at 90 degrees to our bow. Look, actually, it changes also with the scope. As you see, this is automatic, basically changing to automatic and manual, manual input and automatic input. So you see nothing changes when I turn like this, but when I turn like this changes basically, and when this changes because they're kind of connected. And rightly so, because when the ship is going by, its angle and bow is changing, and so it is kind of realistic in that sense. So, well, this is basically the beginning of our journey. One thing also I told you about is, for example, let's go and look, I just press, look, I can identify this ship myself, and I can ask my weapons officer, take it up, Minesweeper. So identify target, Minesweeper. I won't use that a lot because it's a bit like cheating. It's not that big of a cheating because in reality they would also do that. We're only a commander. We're not every single person on the boat. Think about it. We're not really the commander only. We're only the commander, which shoots the torpedoes, says what's going on, and has the master control over everything. That's what we have. That's realistic. What realistically commanders would do most probably. So we won't be actually even touching those controls. I use Q for them because it's a lot easier to use a keyboard command. It's because the doors of the torpedoes open so slow, their point. It's really useful to actually open them beforehand. Usually I open them before attack, before even on planning the attack. So this is actually very important bit that is modeled in the game. Beforehand you had a notebook here. You didn't have any of those, you had a notebook here. And that notebook, basically, with that notebook it kind of was very easy to find the range, the speed, and the what was it called again, and the angle and bow was just a guess. With this, there's no guessing involved. Everything is using this one slider kind of thing is all set by yourself. I'll show you how to use it at the moment. It sounds complicated, but it's very easy. So that's basically it. So I guess I will end this part of this Let's Play here. I will probably play, I'll probably off-screen some of the stuff until we get to about here, or we meet in our ship, and I'll show you a few things. but there won't be any issues this time. Sorry. Well, this is this is a cough. Well, this is pretty much the first part of this series. No worries, it will go probably fairly smooth. I will have like on the second patrol already. We'll be going over like this, but that's still a far away. I still never attacked a convoy. I might actually attack a convoy on camera, but I never actually had an opportunity to actually attack a convoy, so that's why I never did. You have to be fairly lucky to do it. But thanks for watching, everyone. See you in the next series, or